without him, and he basically ran it. So I made him useless. I run a small firm, and for 3 years my assistant Lyle acted like he ran it instead of me. He was good at exactly one thing, which was looking busy and making sure everyone believed that nothing in the building could happen without him. He held every password. He kept my whole calendar in his own files so that anyone who wanted a meeting with me had to come through him first. He had the client phone list saved in a place only he could reach. If a client called, the call went to him, and he decided when or whether I ever heard about it. For a long time, I let it slide because the office seemed to run and I was busy and he was always there. But the way he carried himself got worse every month. He took 2-hour lunches and told the junior staff that I would be lost without him to hold the place together. He rescheduled my meetings to fit around his gym mornings and didn't ask me first. When a big client thanked us for a project I had stayed up 3 nights to finish, Lyle took the call and accepted the praise like the work had been his. He spoke to me in front of the new hires the way you would speak to your own assistant, correcting me, finishing my sentences, waving me off when he decided a conversation was over. On their first day, he pulled each new hire aside and told them quietly that the person to keep happy in this office was him, not me. He told people he managed me. I was the one who signed his paychecks, and he told people he managed me. I watched all of it and told myself it wasn't worth the fight. Then one evening I came back to the office for a charger I had forgotten, and the lights were low, and I heard Lyle in the break room on his phone. He didn't know I was there. He was telling someone that I was a bitch who couldn't tie my own shoes without him, that this whole place would fall apart inside a week if he ever walked out the door, and that he basically ran the company while I just showed up and signed things. He said I could not function without him. He said it like it was the most obvious fact in the world. I picked up my charger and went home, and I didn't say a single thing to him about it the next morning. Instead, I just started doing my own job again. I called our IT person and had every password reset to me. I rebuilt my own calendar and put it somewhere my whole team could book me directly, with no middleman. I gave my best clients my direct line and told them to call me anytime. I told the junior staff that from now on they should bring things straight to me instead of routing everything through Lyle. None of it was an announcement. There was no meeting and no speech. I simply took away every gate he had built to make himself the only road into my office. And the thing I found, once those gates were gone, was that there had been almost nothing behind them. The gatekeeping was the work. The work was the gate. Once people could reach me directly, things that used to sit on Lyle's desk for 3 days got handled in an afternoon. Clients I had not heard from in months turned out to have been calling all along, leaving messages that Lyle simply sat on, so that I would always need him to tell me what was going on in my own company. One client told me she had asked to speak with me 4 separate times, and had been told each time that I was unavailable, and that Lyle would pass it along. He never passed anything along. He just held it, because a message I never got was a message that made me depend on him. Projects he had told me for weeks he was handling were sitting untouched in folders only he could open, and when I finally opened them, most were empty. The office got faster. It got quieter. It got better. And Lyle, with nothing left to hoard, suddenly had nothing to do. He had never actually built a single skill in 3 years. He had built a bottleneck and stood inside it, so he started inventing things to look busy. He walked the halls with papers in his hand. He asked me what he could manage, what he could oversee, what he could handle for me, and the honest answer was nothing, because the only thing he had ever managed was access, and access was free now. He started stopping people in the hallway to ask if they needed anything. He forwarded emails to himself that nobody had asked him to forward. He sat in the break room at the times he knew people would come through and positioned himself as the person who happened to be there, helpful and present, because being present was the only move he had left. He was a man performing relevance for an audience that had already stopped watching. He came to my office a few days later, confused and almost hurt, and asked me why clients were calling me directly.